Hello and welcome to my rapid fire opinions on various Hunger Games fan theories. And I do want to say that these are my own personal opinions. You are more than allowed to disagree with me. Everyone's entitled to their own fan theories and headcanons. Though I do think that some of them really missed the point that the book was trying to make. Do I think that Foxface killed herself? I actually used to be a full supporter of this theory, especially from that scene in the movies where she's identifying all the plants. But the more and more I think about it and the more other creators weigh in on their opinions on this app, I am less inclined to believe this theory. The main reason being because Katniss also did very well at the poisonous plant identification task in training. And yet when going into the arena, Katniss and Rue come across some plants that Katniss is not aware of, but Rue says that they're native to District 11. So we know that there are plants present in the arena that were not in the training sessions. And this is the same for Nightlock. Katniss only knows about it because her father, while training her for hunting, showed her the berries and told her they were poisonous. And so while myself used to think that it was almost explicit in the subtext that Foxface did kill herself, I'm less inclined to believe that because it could be that she genuinely thought they were edible berries, which is still so heartbreaking for her because she was so close to the end. Do I think that Prim's name being called at the Reaping was rigged? No. The whole point of the Hunger Games and the whole point of Katniss becoming the Mockingjay and becoming a symbol for the revolution is that it's not a chosen one. This is a story of an accidental hero, someone who was genuinely a random person and got put into a situation where they were forced to become a hero. More than anything, it makes no sense for Prim's name to be rigged to be pulled out, because there was no guarantee that Katniss would volunteer for her. And even if they just wanted Prim in the games, she wasn't a threat to the Capitol. There would be no reason to want her in the games. And that's not to say that the games aren't rigged. They are rigged quite a lot of the time, but I do think that the majority of them are left to random selection. We pretty much know for certain that Lucy Gray's name was rigged to be pulled in the 10th Hunger Games, and it's implied that Snow does not agree with this method and will potentially change it in the future. I think he likes the idea of the games being up to random chance, that the districts themselves can't use the games as their own personal revenge mechanism. They're his creation and his thing to control, and so he can manipulate them, but no one else can. Do I believe that Peter's name was to be rigged at the 74th Hunger Games? For a similar reason to Prim, no. Peter was not a threat to the Capitol at all. He also flew relatively under the radar, so none of the Capitol or any of the game makers would have been aware of his talents that could have been used in the games. And for those saying that his name was rigged so that him and Katniss would go in the games, again, there's no guarantee that Katniss would have volunteered for Prim, and very few people probably knew that Peter was in love with Katniss. And why would the game makers care about a 16-year-old boy's crush on a girl? And that's even if they knew about it. Do I believe that Lucy Gray returned to District 12 and became Greasy Say? No, I do not. I think it defeats the point of her disappearance and her haunting Snow for the rest of the years for her to return to District 12 in any capacity. Do I believe that Lucy Gray was Katniss's grandmother? For a very similar reason to the one I just said, no. Do I believe that Lucy Gray became President Coin? No. And I'm genuinely confused about the people who do believe that. Do I believe that Maud Ivory is Katniss's grandmother? This one, I do believe. But I also believe that it is heavily implied through subtext in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes that she is Katniss's grandmother. Or at least that she is related to Katniss's father in some way. Because Suzanne Collins doesn't write accidental things. She wouldn't give Maud Ivory, Katniss's father, and Katniss the same uncanny ability to memorize a song upon hearing it a couple of times if it didn't have a point. Do I believe that the Quarter Quell was rigged to get Katniss and Peter back in? Yeah. But like, this isn't a theory. This is a fact. Do I believe that Snow and Sejanus were in love? No, I do not, and I'm begging every day for better queer representation in media, because if we're clinging on to the idea that those two were in love, Coriolanus, oh, what a shame it is to have no friends, Snow. Absolutely not. Do I think that during the first games, when Katniss was stung with the Tracker Jacker venoms, that she was hijacked into loving Peter? No, and it hurts my soul to think that this even could be true, that I'm not even gonna discuss it. And do I think that Katniss's entire life was manufactured from the get-go and that she was always meant to be the chosen one and the Mockingjay? No, I do not. Not at all.